I'm going to get started now. I know we're going to have some people that are going to be popping on here. I always kind of find it funny when I see folks who are in the dark during this whole thing. Because how the hell are you taking notes when it's in the dark, Lisa, Brooke? I'm just calling you out and stuff. Oh, I mean, it's so bad for your eyes. You got to turn on the light. Can't do business in the dark. Anyway, I did watch some of the things, and I'm going to say that I haven't had a chance to watch everything that you guys have posted or put on the page yet. I'm going to be going back and through and doing that. Now, also, forgive me, who was the one that just got pushed way outside, didn't really know what their why was, but they got a little surprise on Friday seeing that they're pregnant? Who is that? Is that you, Alexa? Awesome. Congratulations. That's so cool. That is so cool. It better be named Robert if it's a boy and Brianna if it's a girl, because I'm not Brian. But no, I'm just kidding. But no, now it gets real. Yep. Now it absolutely gets real. And it's just one of those things that you have a great story too. I mean, just build upon that. Just go, I love working with kids, as a nanny and love working with kids and being around them, but I've always had the yearning for something more. And now this is my reason. And guess what this also allows you to do is this opens up, I know this sounds horrible to say, but it opens up a whole new market for you too.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, think about of all the other pregnant moms or moms to be that don't want to have to go back to work or are being forced out of their work. I mean, I can't tell you, Melissa, when she had Bryson, worked for her dad's company. Thank the Lord, he was very flexible. She had a great job. She made a lot of money, but she worked for her dad's company whenever he was born. And so that allowed her to transition. But when it was time for her to go back to work, he even said, he goes, whenever she took time off and, because she had him a month early, so they weren't quite ready for her to step out on maternity leave, but he was totally prepared for her not to come back to work. And it was hard. I mean, she made six figures, so it was hard for her to step away from that, especially since I was a firefighter. And so, but I can tell where you're coming from. You're not going to be that. You need to have the freedom to call that shot of going, you know what? I'm tired of this kid. I want to go back to work, which could happen. Or there's no way in heck I could leave this thing. And there's no way that I want to be able to stay at home and not have to worry about a thing. But there is one thing that I'm going to, I might as well just spill the beans before I get into the heart of this. And I'm just preaching to you, Alexa, but all of y'all I think this is for every one of y'all. There was something in what you said there of you're carving out time around lunch, around nap time, or whatever those kids are. So you're taking that time, but but there's going to be time when your husband comes home from work and you have to spend time with your husband. All right. I get that. I get that. Don't get me wrong. I love it when my wife spends time with me, and I love spending time with her, though we're around each other probably way too much. But anyway, that being said, here's a feeling. Okay. Here's my feeling for this. All right. I truly believe if he has the same plan that you do, and I hope that you have done what Melissa and I, what I just talked to you right before Christmas about, or right before New Year's about, was going through and sitting down with your spouse or significant other or whoever's important in your life and let them know what your goals are, and doing the 5 F's. Well, that's actually 4 F's and a P, H, but gone through and shared with each other what those are. Because that's what Melissa and I actually, because she's been in Africa for almost 2 weeks, she came back in town and we had ours last night. And so, and why we do that is so that we can set the intention for the year. So that being said, I hope you did that with your husband. And if you didn't, you have to do that. You have to set your intention with what's going to happen, because your life is about to change dramatically. And you've got about this much time before it does. And you've got a lot to squeeze in this much time. So why I'm saying you need to sit down with your husband and tell him, this is what my plan is. You need to plan to maybe not spend some of that time sometimes when he comes home from work. Right. Because when he comes home from work, maybe the prime time to be working with some of your folks. Maybe the prime time to be on a call. Maybe on prime time to respond to people in your challenge group or in the test group, whatever that might be that prime time. But he needs to be on the same page as you, or he's going to feel slighted. He's going to feel like you have a mistress or whatever, and you don't want to do that. And so if you haven't done that, have you done that, Alexa? Not
the way it should have been.
Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be the 5. Right. You have to sit down, but you need to have written out goals.
Right.
Okay. And I mean, these were mine. And as you can see, I actually wrote some down at the bottom because Melissa called me on my BS last night. She did. And I'm going to talk to you guys about that here a little bit too. But
you've definitely done that, because I mean, before it felt like he was, slighted. Yeah. But I mean, tonight he came home from work and I had a girl here that actually just signed up as a coach tonight here in my house. And then obviously I'm sitting here every Wednesday night. So it's a balance for sure. But
yeah. And by the way, I'm going to do this free of charge. Any women on this call that has a husband or a boyfriend and you would love to have them sit on this call for 5 to 10 minutes, please do. Please make sure they have thick skin, because if they're not supporting you, I'm going to call them a dumbass straight to their face. Because, Greg, am I wrong when I say that women are killing it in this business? And if a man has too big of an ego or too little of a security to support you 100% and back you to kill this business because you've got a distinct advantage and can crush it, and you need the support at home from your husband. There you go, Allison. Bring them on in here. You better be supporting her. But seriously, I mean, that's the thing. As a lady in this business, it's a relational business. It's relational marketing. It's not network marketing. It's not multi-level marketing. It's relational marketing. And hell, I have a whole training section on why relational marketing that we can go on. I was going to do that tonight, but I actually have something else I'm going to hit on. It talks about what Alexa and what I was just talking to Alexa about. But ladies, if your man, if your guy, if your significant other, whoever it might be, your kids, if they're not supporting you 100% and praising you and patting you on the back, and if every once in a while you need a kick in the pants, kicking you in the pants, if they're not doing that, they're idiots, okay? They are flat out idiots, because you guys can take this business and run with it faster because God blessed you with the ability to create relationships. Men, we have to read books and listen to tapes and go to classes to learn how to pull out of our heads out of our butts, get out of our caves, quit scratching and burping, and go talk to people. You guys go to the bathroom together, for goodness sakes, and carry on conversations in separate stalls. I don't get that. We are in urinals. We cannot look to the left or right, up or down. It's straight at the wall, and we sure as hell don't talk to each other. Okay? That's just the way that guys are. Am I right? Okay, yeah, can I get an amen from the congregation? I mean, that's what it is. So, Mr. Posey, make sure you're supporting him. And all of you other guys out there, and guys, Tom and Armando and Brian, and Greg knows this, I don't need to talk to him, but anybody else, that if your wife is not a coach, you're a dumbass, okay? That's just not I don't care. She needs to be she's got to be there, and then involve her in it. Maybe don't try to push her into doing the business and and posting stuff on Facebook and doing all that stuff. But she needs, first of all, just for business reasons, because the company allows you to have two business owners in the same household, husband and a wife. Take advantage of it. But get them involved. Invite them to be involved. Invite them to do stuff like this. He is a coach. There you go. He had no choice, basically. I mean, you tell him to be a coach, he's go, okay. But I mean, that's that's really the way it is. But I'm just telling you, this is free of charge training. I'll be more than happy to tell that to your husbands. I'm confident and secure in my ability to get it across, and they can think I'm a jerk, and I really don't care. We'll compare businesses, and I'll compare what my wife does and how she crushes it on her own. And she's a multiple six-figure income earner all on her own. She doesn't need me. Of course, I love it because it all goes to the same bank account. But that being said, girls, ladies, females, you guys are rock freaking stars, and you can rule the roost. Guys, guess what? We have to be better. We have to learn how to communicate. We have to get out of our comfort zone and do things that we don't like to do. And that's just the way that this business works. And that's why it's a beautiful thing, because ladies, you are going to grow in areas in which you may be weak right now. And maybe that's, I don't say weak, but maybe uncomfortable. Maybe you might be a little uncomfortable jumping down into somebody's business sometimes. Whereas guys, that kind of comes natural to us sometimes. You might feel uncomfortable getting up and leading from the front, being the center of attention, because you need to be sometimes. You need to be the drill sergeant. You need to be the person in front of the room. You need to be the person that is leading the pack. Maybe that feels uncomfortable. And I'm generalizing, but this is through working with tens of thousands of people. Okay? Men kind of feel sometimes more comfortable with that, but when it's one-on-one, getting to know somebody's heart and soul, that's hard. So we have to be able to, that's what this type of training, that's what this stuff, I hope I can get across and how important that is in doing this. So anywho, that was free of charge. That added another 15 minutes to this training tonight. It's Alexa's fault. So let me get to my training. And thank you, Mr. Posey. Appreciate you joining us tonight. You're not a dumbass because you're a coach. All right, so let me get to my stuff. So here's the deal. Remember last week I gave y'all the assignment to answer those questions, and some of y'all did. How many of y'all found your 5 people? How many of y'all have your 5? You have 3, okay. Allison's got 3. How many of you have 1? Amy, Jill, Tom. How many have 0? Oh, Stephen has 1. How many? Tara, you have 0? Open your mic. Unmute yourself. Why is that?
I just started in September, so I'm a pretty brand new coach. So I really just have my sister as my only working coach right now, and even she is still a full-time teacher. So I'm still looking for my tribe.
So let me ask you about your sister.
Sure.
What do you mean by working coach?
So she's pretty much, I would say, a hobby coach for now, because she is, we're doing the challenge groups together. She is working. She is helping people, but she's also still doing her full-time job, so she can't really fully commit to it.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Yeah. Do you know what she wants out of this thing?
I've tried talking to her, and she always gives me that would be great to be able to stop teaching. She loves teaching. She was like, that would be great if I could stop and, make this a full-time thing. But I think she's not willing to actually go all in. Okay.
So does she see you more as her little sister, big sister, by the way, for you?
Big sister.
She's your big sister? Mm-hmm. So she sees Tara, little sister, as a little sister, or does she see Tara as a business partner?
No, she definitely sees me as a sister.
Okay. Here's the deal when it comes to working with your family. Very rarely And it happens, but very rarely are you going to have a family member that crushes this business with you. And it's mainly because they know you as the kid that we're used to run around and cry and all that stuff. I'm the youngest of 3 brothers. Okay. I've self-made millionaire in this business, rose to the top ranks, one of the top coaches in the company, been doing it. I've been on the videos, all that other stuff. One brother quit. I grew his business to a diamond coach business, and he was making about $1,500 a week. He quit. Didn't let me transfer it or anything. And the other brother is basically just there. I think he's inactive. I would spend the most amount of time in helping either one of them because both of them need this physically and especially financially. But because I'm their little brother, they used to beat the crap out of. I use the term used to until I got into high school. Then because they still see me as that, they don't respect Robert as the business person, Robert as the entrepreneur. They see Robert as the little brother. And so you're going to get that, okay? And I think, Tara, that's when you're going to have these times when you're going to have those real uncomfortable conversations. And I know you're new and you're still kind of in the shallow end of this funky, but you got to, if you want it, you're on this call and I haven't scared you off yet. Okay. So you obviously want it. And it's time to kind of walk further in the deep end and put your head underwater and get uncomfortable. And it may be having to have that uncomfortable conversation with her going, God, I love you. You know what I'd love with you if you want this. If not, but I'm just saying, here's a for instance. Do you have children?
No.
Yeah. Okay. Does she?
No.
Okay. Wow, y'all got all sorts of time on hand. But that I'm going, how awesome would it be if you and I could just go hit Cancun, go hit Hawaii, go spend a week in Maui on the beach, go hit Vail and go just definitely shred some pow, whatever it might be, whatever y'all love to do. Or if are your parents still alive?
Yeah.
Okay. Be able to support our parents and be able to take care of them. That's a big thing for me. I recently went through that. You've heard my story, but be able to be prepared for that and just have that kind of uncomfortable, because, and that's when you say, it goes, is that something you want to do? Because I just feel like on a teacher's salary, you're probably not going to be able to do that. And see, the reason why I want you to be so successful at this is listen, sister's name, insert sister's names here. Listen, I'm going to be successful at this. I know I am. I can just feel it in my heart. I'm going to do well with this. I just am. Okay. And I don't know. I just feel it. This is something that really speaks to me. And so I know I'm going to be successful, and I'd rather you be successful and do this with me so that we can truly do it together than without me. And then me do it without you. I don't need you to be successful, but I want you to be successful. So, and so that to me is the type of conversations I had with my brothers, but they're the work an hour, get paid for an hour type of guys. I had that with my best friend, best man at my wedding, makes $3,000 a week. But I did that early on. Melissa, my wife, her best friend in the world, Stephanie Richardson, got into this business, said no. And we're founders and we couldn't, we really didn't know what we're getting to, but we're like, we're going to crush this. We just know we are. Once we figured out what we had, hey, we want you to do it with us. This would be great. We can do this as friends. And you live in Dallas, we live in Iowa. We can, kind of keeps us close together. No, and then finally we said, God, this thing's really starting to take off. We're starting to get customers. Oh, wait, hang on. She makes about $20,000 a week right now. So I'm telling you that to tell you those people that you want to be most successful, you need to tell them, if you want that, hey, I want this for you. And if you don't want it for you, I understand. But, and so that's the uncomfortable conversations for you all that don't have your 5 need to have with people. Okay? You need to have that with people and saying, I really want you to do this. Not for me, because I'm going to crush it without you. You know? But I want it for you. And then once they're like, all right, let's do this. You go, no. Are you going to do this, or are you just going to do it? Because if you're going to do it, I'm going to get you involved in this group that I'm a part of that's going to basically clean your kitchen. Because here's my plan with that, guys. Towards the end of this training, I'm going to have you invite those 5 people onto this call. Okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to start sharing with them some of the things that we have gone through. And we're going to start kind of cleaning their kitchen. And then you're going to take over those calls after that and start training them with stuff that you've learned here. But we're starting ahead of time right now. So that's why I think it's of uber importance. You figure out, do you want to be a no-star diamond, or do you want to be a 5-star diamond? If you want to be a 5-star diamond and really start truly making a difference, find your 5 people and get them on here. Okay? Jill's husband's going, that dude's a jerk. 5. You got 5? Yes, you're a badass. Anyway, all right. Kids out of the room, I can cuss now. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so let's get started. Why I went to this, and I may have preached to you guys on this, but I've slept and hit my head a few times since then, riding my motorcycle. But last night, I went back, I told you guys about last night. Melissa and I had our date night, and we went through our goals and stuff, and I went through my piece of paper and everything. She called me on my BS. She called me out on my goals. I'm like, what the hell? I'm not used to that anymore. But she did, and that's why I love her for it. She was like, I felt like this tall. Now, ladies and gentlemen, whenever one of your accountability partner is your significant other, it tends to carry a little bit more weight. But I highly recommend you do these things and hold each other accountable to them, because guess what? Their livelihood is determined by what you do too. So she called me out on some of my things and called me out on some of my shortcomings that I've had over the past year. And I've had, we all have them, and she did. But guess what? After she did that, I was pissed off. I was like, how dare you? But that was my ego talking and my pride talking, and not my intelligent businessman side talking. All right. So once I got over that and told that side to shut up and say, you know what, you're really right. Today, I had the most, and I'd stopped working. I got away from my desk, got off my computer, got away from my desk, and I walked out my door because I had a few errands to run at 2:00 today. So get this, from 9:45 a.m., that late, until 2:00 p.m., that was my work day. But I had one of the most productive work days that I've had in a long time. Listen, these are my goals for the year, and I already crossed 2 of them off the list just today alone, because I got off my ass. And you know what that also tells me about my goals is they were pretty weak sucking. I'm going to go back and do them over again. That's some of the stuff she called me out on. One of the things she really called me out on had to do with self-discipline. And this is something that I've had great success with. And I used to, when I had mentors, when I had somebody holding my feet to the fire, this is what truly helped me do that. So I'm going to tell you right now, self-discipline is the key to success. Okay, so write that at the top of your paper. Self-discipline is the key to success. Let me take a drink here because I'm going to get long-winded. All right, don't worry. I'll tell you when to take notes. All right, Harry Truman said, in reading the lives of great men, I found that the first victory they won was over themselves. Self-discipline with all of them came first. Kind of goes back and tells you about the battle that I was fighting within myself, my ego versus my intelligence. That's what goes on. I had to win the victory over myself. And that's one of the things I really feel over the last maybe year or whenever. There's been times when I've let one side of myself gain victory over the other side of myself. And one side of myself was contentment and satisfaction and comfortableness. Okay? Listen, you may hit Success Club 5 for the month, and that's awesome. But if you're comfortable with Success Club 5, your business is not going to grow. You understand? Y'all picking up what I'm putting down? So that you've got to win that victory over yourself and get over that comfortableness and have self-discipline to go, you know what? I hit that goal. Screw that. I'm just going to keep doing what I was doing and seeing what happens. Don't worry about 5 or 10 or 15 or 20 or whatever. What ends up the month ends up at the month. You just keep going, doing what you're doing. Okay? So self-discipline came first. So self-disciplined achievers, number one, they have a strong sense of purpose. All this stuff that we've been talking about, your why, your vision, your eulogy, that's all defining what your purpose is. So you have a strong sense of purpose. You know what your purpose is in life, and you know that you will do everything that it takes to achieve your goals. Okay? You have a strong sense of purpose. So here's an example, and this is something I want you to do. I want you to make 3 wishes in your life. And this is not some Aladdin genie in a bottle type stuff. I mean 3 wishes in your life. You can go back to your vision. You can go back to your eulogy, whatever your wishes are in your life. Whichever wish you look at and want the most, that's your purpose. Okay? So your 3 wishes, whichever one you want the most, that's your purpose. So number 2, each self-disciplined achiever has a mentor or someone whom they wish to emulate. Every high achiever had it. General Patton had Hannibal. You can go look at Darren Hardy had Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn had Ernest Nightingale. And the list goes on and on and on. I mean, you look at any of them. I mean, that's just who it is. And Anthony Robbins said that one of the great success strategies is to model what works. Okay? Model what works. So find someone in this business who is crushing it. Find out what the hell they do and do it. Don't reinvent the wheel. Don't do anything different. Be you. And guess what the most successful people in this business are doing? They're talking to people, getting to know them, getting them to trust them and building trust in them, and then inviting them. That's all they're doing. We're not buying leads or spending, thousands and thousands of dollars on some, fandangled web thing. Some might be doing it and having some success, but the ones who have long-lasting success are just creating relationships. So find people that do that well and emulate them, okay? That's number 2. They have a mentor and someone they wish to emulate. Number 3, they visualize. They have seen their goals fulfilled and they know what it feels like. Basically, your days and your goals, when you achieve them, should feel like deja vu. Have y'all heard the story about the prisoner of war? Who the way that he was able to get through years and years of mind torture and isolation was that he pictured himself playing the top 18-hole courses in the world. And he pictured each shot, and he pictured how it looked going down the fairway, and if he would need to draw it, or if he would need, have a slight fade, and how the greens were cut, and what the hills were going to undulate. Have you heard about those guys that would play 18 holes in their mind in the isolation of their cell? Well, this one particular prisoner of war who did that faithfully day in and day out. The first time he played golf after he got out, he had a hole in one. He visualized what he was going to do. And have you ever watched LeBron James? LeBron James or J.J. Watt or any of these guys, top athletes, and will sit there and just do this in front of their lockers, and they're visualizing the ball going through the hoop. Or J.J. Watt, the sound of his helmet hitting the chin strap of that quarterback as he's taking him down, or whatever it might be. But they're race car drivers. And they'll sit there and they'll feel the steering wheel in their hands, and their feet will move, and they will just visualize the turns of the racetrack and what line they need to take and what the vibrating feel in their seat's going to feel like, because that's what the RPMs they are supposed to be at when they hit that turn. They will have all that sensual, just all that going up, that perception. And so when they're actually in it, they've been there before. And that's why they're successful. That is what you need to be able to do. So you need to already have this in your mind and visualize your attainment of the goals that you have. What's life going to be like once you attain that goal? Visualize on it, taste it, feel it, smell it, whatever it might be, but know what it's like, because guess what you're doing? You're programming your mind, you're programming your body that's the way, that's the norm. And anything other than achieving that goal is uncomfortable. You understand what I'm coming from? That's what this is about. Tony Jerry. I don't know if you guys have heard of him. I actually have a call with him tomorrow. It's pretty cool. Pretty excited about that. He's success coach to billionaires. He lives here close to me, and I actually used to. His daughter was one of our assistants, and but he's an amazing man. Amazing man. He's spoken in front of crowds of tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands. He's spoken with Tony Robbins and back with Jim Rohn and Zig Ziglar. He actually spoke at one of their things that they had, as well as was the MC of their whole event. And one of the things that I was at his house and for his daughter's wedding, and went into what he's called his office, but it's basically his visualization room. And he brings these top CEOs into here, and that's when he has strategy sessions. He actually has a stage up there. If they have to give a presentation, they have to go up on stage and do the presentation there in front of him, and he will critique. They have all this stuff. He has all that. But he also has a workout room in there. And on his mirror in that workout room, he has drawn the outline of the shoulders of him. So when he stands there, the shoulders he wants to have, the pecs that he wants to have, the abs, the size waist. He's visualizing every time that he stands in front of that mirror in that silhouette, he is seeing what he wants to see in that mirror. He's very strong about visualization. That's what high achievers and super achievers have, is they have that strong of visualization, and those visualization aids, so that if they aren't achieving those things, it is uncomfortable. So that's what you need to be. Okay? Number 4, they have a strong belief in self. They know, capital K-N-O-W, they know that they can achieve their goals and won't let anything stop them. Won't let a sister that doesn't want to do this business stop them. Won't let a slowdown in the economy, which is actually great for our businesses, by the way, stop them. Won't let negativity around them stop them. Won't let naysayers stop them. They won't let anything stop them. They have a strong belief in self. You have a strong belief in yourself. If you don't have a strong belief in yourself, you need to do more personal development. You need to spend more time on yourself and realize that you are a miracle. Do you believe that? Every one of you, do you truly believe that you're a miracle? You are already a winner. If any of y'all have been through science class, you should know that you are a winner. You beat out 2.7 million other people to get on this earth. Do you understand me? 1 in 2.7 million, and you got there first, and you made it in, and you're here because of it. So if you're not a freaking miracle and believe in that and know that you can achieve some pretty cool stuff, then you need to have some serious evaluation of what you want to do. But already know that you are a winner and you're here on purpose. So you know that you can achieve your goals and won't let anything stop you. And you know that it is possible no matter what happens or how long it takes. See, let me just share something with you. It's talking about that it's going to happen and no matter how long it takes. Guess what? There's not a whole lot of difference between you and me. There isn't. The biggest difference between you and me, because guess what? This business is let's say it's a highway. Okay? This business is a long, straight highway. And I've just been driving longer. Plain and simple. I've just been driving longer. Now, there are some people who haven't been on the road nearly as long as I have, but they put that freaking pedal to the metal and shit, they're catching up to me. Some people even pass by me. But I've also had people that got on this road, floored it, and then took an exit somewhere. Some people got on this road, started going, and decided they were going to set their cruise control for under the speed limit. Some people do the start and stop method. The people that drive me crazy when I'm driving with them, but they're freaking doing the start and stop method. But that's the only difference between us is we are all on the same highway. We all have the same products. We all have the same compensation plan. We all have the same 24 hours in a day, 7 days a week. The only difference between me and my income and you is I've been doing it longer and I've been on the road longer. That's it. But like I said, you have the opportunity to put your pedal through the floor and pass me by. That's the beautiful thing about this is we could look up and a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years from now, whatever, however long you decide it wants to take you, you could be making much more money than I do. And I hope that happens. And I don't want nothing because of it. But I pray that happens for you. This company needs more people to do that. So anyway, doesn't matter how long it takes. You have a strong belief in yourself. You're a miracle. You're a winner. Keep that in your mind all the time. Maybe you take a little picture of a sperm, put it right on your freaking computer so that it's just there and just go, I'm a winner. Or has like an I'm number one foam finger on or something. I don't know, but just think of something so that you remember that. Greg's like going, seriously, he had to go there? Next time I'm speaking on stage, I'm talking about that. So anyway, I digress. If I started drinking earlier, we'd all be in for a treat. So number 5, that's number 4. They have strong belief in self. Number 5, they have patience. Still remember talking to Rich Bell when I first started in this business. Rich Bell's my personally sponsored coach. He was the architect of our compensation plan. He helped Carl and Chris Simonian put this whole company together. So he's my personally sponsored coach. One of the things he used to always tell me is, be patient, be patient. I was like, come on, why isn't it happening now? Where's our website? Where's our customers? Why aren't we getting paid? Because we didn't get paid for like 4 months when we first started this thing. Seriously. Why isn't this happening? Why isn't that happening? I really want to be a 2-star diamond. No, why am I that? You know, he's like, hey, Rob, you just got to be patient. You know, it's going to happen. He goes, just keep doing what you're doing, man. Keep going for it. Keep going for your goals. So that's what I'm telling you to do. Keep going for your goals. You're going to continue to go after your goals no matter what. And you know that all people, like I said earlier, can walk 1,000 miles, but just know that it's only going to, in order to walk 1,000 miles, you still got to do it one step at a time. It's like they say, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. That's truly what we're doing, guys. As we're walking 1,000 miles in this lifetime, we're doing it one step at a time. So you got to be patient and know that it's going to take time to build a 6-figure, 7-figure income in anything that you do. But be patient and do the right things and continue after your goal. So one thing about going 1,000 miles, walking 1,000 miles, or running 1,000 miles is you can't do it if you're sitting down or turning around. You got to continue to keep going forward. So that's number 5. Number 6, you have perseverance. And we've gone through this ad nauseum. You cannot, I repeat, cannot, big capital letters, underlined, starred next to it, highlighted, cannot give up. You are taking the spot in this group of somebody who could do something really damn special in their life. Okay? You are. You took the spot of somebody who could probably take this and maybe do more than any of us could ever imagine. It's not a slight on you. What that is telling me, and it's telling you, excuse me, is that you have a responsibility to follow through in this thing now. Okay? You have a responsibility to continue on and do something special with this opportunity that you've been given. Listen, I just went back and watched, you may have seen it on my Facebook page that I posted yesterday, day before yesterday, when I did my Top Coach video. One of the things that I said at the end, I was like, we all hold this gift in our hand, and we have the opportunity and the responsibility to try to give this gift away, but it's up to other people on whether they want to take it or not. And if they don't, it's their loss. Guys, that's what you guys have been given, is you guys have been given the opportunity of being given a gift. It's your responsibility to take advantage of it. If you don't take advantage of it, not only is it your loss, it's the loss of somebody who could have been here and really taken advantage of it. I said that the first day we got started, and I believe it just as much now, because you're still here. So a year from now, when these talks have long gone, and Lisa and I have talked about this whenever she came up and met me, and we talked about the previous group we had, and she's still here, is that you don't quit. I don't care what happens. Somebody could have come up and peed all over your Shakeology. You don't quit. You could have every one of your coaches quit. You don't quit. Period. You keep going. One of my favorite shows, and this is about one of the only shows in our household that we'll stop down and actually watch. Okay, and we watch it as a family. It gets me geeked up because my kids start thinking this way. Shark Tank. And if you ever listen to Mark Cuban, he's a Mavericks owner, so I like him, but or you listen to Damon, or you listen to Robert Herjavec, or you listen to any of them, they had every reason to give up. They've had so many businesses fail. They've had so many people that have given them the Heisman. They've had so many people that have turned their back on them, told them they're stupid, but they kept going and they never gave up. And look where they are now. Why are they different from you? Why are they different from me? They're not. None of them are. Well, they just had a great opportunity. Really? What do you have? You have air in your lungs? Last time I checked, you're not turning blue. You have a room over your head, except for Lisa, who's in the dark, and Brooke, who's in the dark. I can't tell what's behind them. And then we got Susan and Michael that are on their phones. I don't know where they are, but all of y'all look like you got a roof over your head. And you all got Wi-Fi or something, or at least cell signal. So they don't have anything different than what we have. They just didn't give up, and they kept going forward. They don't deserve it any more than we do. All right, so that is why it's extremely important that you keep going and moving in the right direction. And doing the things that we go through and we talk about, and hopefully getting you on the path to doing, is the right direction that you need to go. All right? So that's number 6. Number 7, you plan. You should have this in about every page of notes that you have. You plan. You know where you're going, and you know how to get there. Okay? You know what activities it's going to take to get where you're going. Guys, you just do the vital behaviors. Don't start trying to reinvent the wheel. Just do what you do. Just friend people, make friends, talk to people. I mean, social media is not so inundated and saturated. It's getting there. But, I mean, just talk to the people you know. Especially like Tara, you're being so new in this. You're still so fresh. You have a whole group of people that you can talk to. You just got to get over your uncomfortableness of talking to them. But your warm market hasn't even been touched. Okay? I mean, people, number one, you should be the light in the dark world. People should see who you are, what you're all about, and how you just radiate confidence and how you radiate sunshine and health and wellness. And you don't need to go shoving Shakeology at people's butts, but what you got to do is just be an example for them and be a product of the product and be confident, so that when somebody, is out there and says, God, I mean, these gas prices suck. Yeah, I used to think that way. That's the way I used to feel. I started this side gig, and side hustle. And I mean, I don't worry about that, but what about the economy and the healthcare and all this, the government's really screwing this up. I got a plan. Well, what's your plan all about? How's that? How are you gonna make $1 million? That's the biggest thing. I had a nurse tell me at the hospital one time, whenever I was just starting out in this. She goes, she said she was doing something. She goes, have you made $1 million yet? It was the first person I called when I made the Million Club. Kind of did one of these to her, but it felt good. But in the back of my mind, that was yes, I made $1 million. Actually, I've made quite a few. So you just be that light. You just be that person that is, I mean, you're not obnoxious. You're not pitching people in the line at Starbucks. You're not doing stuff like whatever you're doing. You are just being you, just turned up a little bit, and being approachable and not being afraid to start a discussion with somebody and just wanting to make more friends. Okay. That's all you want to do. Okay. So that's what you're doing. Okay. And so those are the activities that you're going. Those of you who have been doing it for a while, I've burned through my warm market. Oh, really? Have you? Have you really burned through everybody that everybody that you've ever come across? I've got people, I posted my awesome assistant who makes our meals. Yes, we have one of those that did. And I said, listen, I went to Amazon and I bought a bunch of those compartmentalized containers. And I said, I need you to buy like 8 pounds of chicken. I need you to buy I don't know how many sweet potatoes and a buttload of broccoli. And I just want you to fix it all up, cut it up, put it in these containers and stick it in the top shelf of my fridge. That's what I can eat the same thing day in and day out. I just can't. I'm just a creature habit like that. And so she did. And so I posted that on Facebook today. I got guys from high school that I haven't talked to in years commenting on it and messaging me. They're a part of my warm market because I used to hang out with them in high school. I haven't touched them before, but a stupid little post I posted today saying, I'm fat, I'm tired of being fat, and if you see me holding a piece of pizza or a beer, kick my ass post on Facebook has people responding to it. That's all you got to do. Just be alert to life. Be real. Okay? Yes, you are a fitness professional, but you're not too professional to be approachable. So you plan, you do the activities that it take to get there. Okay? Number 8, you're always learning. Have you ever heard, when you're green, you're growing, and when you're ripe, you're rotting? Continue to stay green. You have to continue to invest in yourself. I highly recommend you go to YouTube or go to Google and Google Darren Hardy personal development formula, and he will tell you the formula you should put back into your personal development out of what your income is. And so your income, let's say, is some people do 10%, some people do 30%. I think 10% is the number, if I do recall. So just think about that. If you made $30,000 this year, you should be spending $3,000 on personal development. You make $100,000, that's $10,000. Whatever it might be. So let's say you made $1,000 in this business this year, which I hope all of you are just blowing that away. But that's $100. That's $100 on audio. That's $100 on books that you should be reading. Books on tape. Listen to me. Books, whatever, that you're able to download. But that stuff, that's $100. Are y'all spending $100 on it? I mean, truly, are you spending $100 on it? And then I'm sorry, these calls are personal development. The Monday morning wake up call is not personal development. It just isn't. Personal development is stuff outside of that. That's business. So spend money and do it. And there's a lot of free stuff out there. But you need to invest in yourself. Every time you invest in yourself, I promise you, it will come back tenfold. That is the best return on investment you will ever have is personal development. Period. No ifs, ands, or buts. One of the best personal development things I ever had is I used to go to Danny Johnson. Melissa and I got involved in that. We spent a while following her and really learning from her, and she was great. I actually had the opportunity to speak on one of her calls. It was like a highlight. And she was rude, and I dug that. She was real, and so one of the things though that I learned at one of her training events was her husband came up and talked about just diversifying and the importance of doing things outside of your main income, taking the income that you have and going outside of that. He talked about oil investments and leases and stuff like that. And he also mentioned about real estate. And I came home straight from that. Melissa and I started talking, and we invested in our first 2 real estate properties and built 2 rental houses. And still have those 2 rental houses. I bought a third and sold a third. Bought it for $195,000, sold it for $250,000 in 2 years, and never paid a payment on it because it was always rented out. But since then, we have over a portfolio of $4 million in real estate. Why? Because of that. So why am I telling you that? Personal development opened up that side of our life. And that's what you should do too. Not everything that you do should wrap around Beachbody. You need to learn about investments. You need to learn about, putting your money, living off of this much, making this much, but living off of this much, because when you can do a lot with this much, it sure makes making this much a lot more fun, or living on this much a lot more fun. Plus, this much will turn into this much, so you can take it from this much and live off this much, and it's fun. Plus, guess what? When you're doing that and you're growing that nest egg, the freedom comes a lot faster. So, personal development is what you need to be doing, and you need to be growing each and every day. And number 9, probably one of the biggest things ever, because passion is fueled by love. So you must love what you do. Listen, I've talked to people in this business, especially early on, that became Beachbody coaches, and they just did it because they wanted to make a buck. Back in the day when Emeralds got customers and, this, that, and the other, and there's other things, that's where they did it. They got in because they were going to make money off these customers, and they were going to, guess what? None of them are here. Because they didn't love what they were doing. They didn't love working with people. They loved working with numbers. They didn't love the opportunity to make a difference, not only in other people's lives, but also in their lives and their families' lives. When you truly love this, it's not a grind. And there's going to be days when it may start to feel like a grind. But I was telling my son, Bryson, who's 17, he's got a scholarship to go play baseball. He had the opportunity to play D1 football. He also had the opportunity to play Division I baseball. He ended up signing with the top Division II baseball program in the country, and because he's going to start next year. That was his big thing. He wanted to be able to start and wanted to be able to play in 2 positions. But he had the opportunity to go big school, like when I say big school, I mean like Oklahoma big school football, or some different things like that. And one of the kids that came out of this town signed out of high school with the New York Yankees and was a high draft pick, so he made a lot of money. And one of the things, but he quit baseball. And I said, hey, Austin, why? I mean, if you had to go back and choose, football over baseball, what are your thoughts on that? And he goes, here's the deal. When you get past high school, you're not doing it for the love of the game anymore. It becomes a business. Even if it's in college, it's a business because you're getting paid to play with a scholarship. So you need to figure out what you truly love the grind, meaning the 4-hour-long practices, the times when maybe you're not as successful as you're normally used to being. You still love it. And if you have one of those that's that way, you go after that one. So I came home, I talked to Bryson, and I said, hey, which one do you absolutely love? And he goes, man, I'm giddy for baseball. He goes, 4-hour-long practices are fun. I love it. And I said, there's your answer. No ifs, ands, or buts that you go after that, because there's no difference between a practice and a game for him. It's all fun. And for you, you need to love this so much that getting to know new people and expanding yourself and your horizons and personally developing yourself and growing is what you love to do. Because that's what you're born to do. You're not born to stay stagnant. You start dying the moment you stay where you're at. You got to continually be growing in order to be living. So that's probably, like I said, that's probably one of the most, if not the most important thing that you got to get through yourself. And if you don't love this, you need to seriously reevaluate why you're here. And that goes back to last week of why should you be here? So anyway, I wanted to bring that to you because self-discipline, all of this stuff that we talk about goes back into the self-discipline portion. Now, I'm going to throw everybody for a curveball. Greg, how many people do we have in this group? I know we have 16 showing up right here. Oh, 15 and 14 minus you and me.
I think we have like 19, 20 total, something like that.
All right. Here's what I would like to see happen. Between now and I'd love to see it by next week, but let's just give it 2 weeks because I think you may find, that it may be a little bit harder. I would love it to see you guys pair up and have accountability partners. Now, here's what an accountability partner is not. Oh, it's okay. You'll make it up tomorrow. Oh, God, that's a great goal. I thought about doing that one, but it was too weak and fluffy for me. No, I mean, an accountability partner is somebody who, even though you sleep in the bed next to her, is going to call you on your bullshit. All right? An accountability partner, not y'all, I mean, him. Okay. Accountability partner is someone who is going to get in your britches when it's time to get in your britches. Okay. An accountability partner, I know it doesn't make it sound rosy, but an accountability partner is someone whom you're going to lean on when you're frustrated. They're going to lean on when you're frustrated, but they're also going to be the first person that gives you the biggest bear hug and high five because you're both rocking the world. You need to find someone who makes you feel uncomfortable. And I don't mean in a creepy, weird stalker sort of way. I mean, in a, oh crap, I got to talk to Greg. And man, I'm not looking forward to talking to Greg. Okay. Because I know he's going to ask me if I did this thing and I'm not ready to. And then if I've called and I'm talking to Greg and I said, yeah, Greg, I just, you said that we needed to, that we agreed we were going to have this done. I was going to have 15 new people that I'm talking with kind of in line. I was already going to have 2 more coaches this month, but no, gosh, my mom came into town and my cat puked all over my couch and I was busy trying to get that up. And it just got away from me. I just didn't do it. And Greg's not going to go. And my thought is, Greg is going to kick my ass. Because when I had that level of accountability, I had a mentor that did that. That is when I had the greatest success. Period. So I want you guys, and here's the deal. Guess what? All of you can do this. And I'm going to pick on her because she was the only one that talked, but I'm going to pick on Tara, or I'll pick on Tara's new. She's been doing this since September. She goes, and she may be thinking, well, how can I be somebody's accountability partner? I'm still very new at this. Guess what, Tara? You can grow at the same time. You can channel your inner witch and go after somebody. It's the best part about this thing. They don't know if you're being you or you're being a hard ass. I mean, but I'm just saying, just do that. Because what you got to do first and foremost is you got to find out what that person is all about, what they want, and how fast they want to get there. Okay? Then you have to figure out what's it going to take to get there. And as long as you know that, then it doesn't matter if you started yesterday or if you're a founder. You're just there to help them check the boxes. That's your job. Okay? Your job's not there to sit there and train them. Your job is to help them check the boxes and make sure they're checking the boxes. All right? So guess what? It's not my job. It's not Greg's job to find an accountability partner. That's your job. So here's what I recommend you doing. Get on the Facebook page. Go in search of someone who doesn't take long walks on the beach but likes to work hard. Someone who is willing to plant 2 feet in my backside because I need that now. Someone who is strong-minded, strong-willed, and looking for someone who is the same way. I recommend that. Now, I don't care if women, you have a man that is your accountability partner. Men, I don't have a problem if a woman is your accountability partner. That's not my problem to have. That's your family and your business to have. And if you feel comfortable doing that, then do it. I've had great women accountability partners, but guess what? My wife darn sure knew that I was going to be talking with them at 9 o'clock at night sometimes. So that being said, that's what you're going to do. This is going to become a very intimate group, and this group's going to live long beyond when I'm here talking to you. You guys need to be responsible in each other's successes. And because when that happens and you see everybody here and you see each other at Summit, it is a glorious freaking time. It is like the most tear-jerking hug fest in the world, but it's because all of y'all have done it to get there together. All right? So that's y'all's job for this week. Get busy on that. If you don't have an accountability partner this week or next week, it's not going to make me less successful. It's not going to make Greg less successful. Just know it's your business. So that's your assignment. That's what it's going to take. All right? Y'all have a good night. I'm off to spend time with Mrs. and a pillow. All right. I'll talk to y'all later. Take care.
All right.
Bye.
Thanks.